In the 60s, General Motors was on top of the world. Largest car corporation in the world, largest company in the world. Huge market share in the US. And one of the cars that they sold gazillions of was the Chevrolet Impala. Remember the theme, see the USA in a Chevrolet. I remember when these cars were launched, and they were curvaceous. If you take a look at this car, it's got a sleek look to it from front to back. It was roomy. Inside, 6 adults, no problem. The dashboard, highly stylized, 3 big gauges in the center, 2 on each side. You sat behind the wheel of this car, you looked out over the hood, this nice crease here, 2 fender creases. You really felt like you were rolling. You were commanding the road. Now, of course, you were on bias ply tires, so the car didn't handle, had terrible brakes so it wouldn't stop. When you went around corners, it was like a rhinoceros on a wet clay bank trying to flip over on its side all the time, but we don't remember those things. Here at this auction, once again, we have a car card to look at. Useful information, one family-owned car. Bought from Ron Tonkin, 52,263 original miles. What they say about a car is it can be restored many times, but it's only original once. This car, under the hood, it's nicely detailed. Now, personally, for my taste, I think it could be dressed up a little bit, maybe some chrome on the valve covers or up here to give it some eyeball pop, but on the other hand, this is pretty original. It's probably a 327 that's under here, so the car will have enough oomph. Doesn't have any smog control, so the mileage is not going to be horrible like it would be with a 80s car. The car has had 1 repaint from new and pretty decent quality. You can see here there's no overspray on the chrome. The paint itself is holding up well. There's a little cracking right here. You can just feel it's rough, but I think you could probably color sand this and get it to be smooth again. This car has what we call an extremely honest feel to it. It's a 2-door, which is popular. 4 doors are always hopeless. They're not collectible at all. The interior is nice. They made a lot of these cars, and it's not a 4-speed car, it's not a big motor car, so it will never be a car that's worth a ton of dough. But if you think about it, you can get 4 friends, 5 friends to go with you, go to a cruise in. Part of the reason that you buy a car like this is because of the events you can go to with it and all the other people you meet who like cars the same type of car that you do. I often think that cars are really an excuse for people who like the same kinds of things to get together. So I think this car would be a great buy for somebody maybe who grew up with an Impala, who always wanted an Impala. And I do think the guys at General Motors should take a look at this car and think about it. What was it that made Chevrolet so great in the 60s? Definitive car, clarity of vision, handsome, beautifully laid out inside. They do that with their cars today, and they'll be a long way towards turning themselves around. So this Impala, 1 owner, 52,000 original miles, 1 respray from new. Good car to buy. Here at the Silver Auction in Portland, Oregon, I'm Keith Martin from Sports Car Market Magazine. Thank you for joining me today.